few things you need to know. One is, what are prime numbers? Prime numbers have exactly two factors, the numbers 1 and themselves. The number 5 is a prime number because you can only multiply 1 times 5 to equal 5. You cannot multiply any other numbers to equal 5. The number 4, however, is a composite number because you can multiply 1 times 4, and that equals 4, and you can multiply 2 times 2, and that equals 4. So therefore, 4 is a composite number. Factors, by the way, are numbers that you multiply to get a number. So 1 and 5 are factors of 5. 1, 2, and 4 are factors of 4. The first 7 prime numbers are worth remembering: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and 17. And please notice, 2 is the only even prime number. There are no other prime numbers, and this goes on for a long ways, that is even. Remember, 1, the number 1, is not prime because it does not have exactly 2 factors. To get the number 1, you have to multiply 1 times 1, and you notice that's the same number. So it is not prime, and it is also not composite because it does not have more than 2 factors. It doesn't have 2 factors, and it does not have more than 2 factors. So we're going to take a look at some of the problems from today's assignment, some of the numbers. And if we look here, the number 43. Let's talk about the number 43. I'm going to think about this number. What do I know about this number? What two numbers can I multiply to get 43? Well, the first one I know I can get is 1 times 43. I know I can do those. 43 is not an even number, so I know 2 won't work. And 3 goes into 3, so that's tempting. But if I do 43 and 3 goes into 4 one time, 3 does not go into 13 without a remainder. It goes in 4 times. And we have a remainder of 1, so we'd have to go to a decimal, and so that doesn't work either. So I can go through a lot of numbers, but I can start thinking about my multiplication tables. And I know that 6 times 7 is 42, so that's a possibility. Or that gets me close. So I'm thinking, well, 6 times 8 isn't going to work. 5 times 7 is 35. I'm thinking through some numbers, and I don't know of any two numbers that I can multiply to get 43. So what I'm going to have to say that it is a prime number. So I'm going to write prime there. So let's look at the number 66 here. The number 66, let's try that out here. Type in the number 66. What two numbers? Well, I know 2 will go in because it's an even number. It ends in an even number. So 2 times 33, well, 2 won't go into 33 because, that doesn't work. But I know 3 does. It ends in a 3. So 3 times what equals 33? And it's 3 times 11. And I remember from my list that 3 and 11 and 2 are all prime numbers. So this is how I'd write the prime factorization of 66. 66 equals 2 times 3 times 11. So back on our assignment, I will write 2 times 3 times 11, and that's the. So let's look at our next one, the number 96. 96 is an even number, so I know that 2 will go in. So 2 times 48 is 96, and then 2 times 24 is 96, and then 2 times 12 is 24, and 2 times 6 is 12, and 2 times 3 is 6. So I have all of these factors here because these are all prime numbers. I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And that's really a lot of numbers to write. So let's try 96 equals 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had to multiply that 5 times, so that's 2 to the 5th power times 3. Remember, 2 to the 5th power does not mean 2 times 5. It means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. You're multiplying 2 5 times. So 2 to the 5th power times 3. So let's go back to our assignment, and we will write it like that to make our lives a lot easier. 2 to the 5th power times 3. Then you have the number 243. Wow, that's a big number. And you know, that can be a little scary. But let's try it out and see what happens. 243. Well, I know it's not an even number. I don't know if 3 goes in, but let's try it. 3 times 81. Now, the way I could have found out that 3 times 81 equals 243 is with division. I can write 243, and I'm going to try 3. 3 goes into 2. It does not. 3 goes into 24, however. 8 times. 3 times 8 is 24. So we'll write that down here. We'll subtract. We have 3, and 3 goes into 3 one time. And that would be one way of finding out. Alright, so we have 81, and if my memory serves me right, one of the favorite facts that I learned doing multiplication tables was 81, that 9 times 9 equals 81. And it was just a really easy one for me to remember. So 9 times 9 is 81, and 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 3 is 9. And look at that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threes. So again, instead of writing this out like this, I can write 243 is equal to 3 to the 5th power, because there are 5 3's that I'm multiplying to each other. And if you ever have 3 to the 5th power, in order to understand what that means, write out 5 3's and then multiply them. You'll find that you get the answer 243. So let's go back to our assignment, and we will write 243 equals 3 to the 5th power. 124. You guys can figure that one out on your own.